Record. Okay. All right. So, hey, thanks for everybody who is watching. So, I am here today with Maya and Jack Burton, who are currently living in Valencia right now. So, you guys, I've looked at your blog and your Etsy site and your YouTube, and I think you guys have a fascinating story. So before we really dive in, I'd love to know first, could you tell us a little bit about where you guys are from, about your family, and what made you decide to want to make a move to Valencia to start off?
I'll let Maya answer because it'll be shorter that way.
Okay. We originally from Austin, Texas. Well, a small town outside of Austin.
Lockhart, Texas.
Lockhart.
Barbecue capital of the world.
We're both from there. We met in high school, high school sweethearts and all that. And we've moved to Valencia in October of 2016. So we've been here 3.5 years now. And we've got 7 kids, and life was just getting a little overwhelming, kind of crazy busy. We were all in 9 different directions all the time. And the oldest of our kids were kind of getting to that point in life where we knew we only had a couple of years left, where we knew they would be home with us, where we could kind of have that last family unit time before they're moving on to college and stuff like that. We just wanted to do something amazing together. So
be more than just chauffeurs, for them. And we were gigging a lot in Austin. We would do the day job and then come back to the suburb we lived in and then drive back into town in Austin for gigs 3 to 5 nights a week and leave the kids with pizzas. And we were just everybody, as they got older, we were all going different directions. So a lot of it was about trying, and when we were first starting out and they were little, it was just very close knit. We had no money. She was at home with them all day long. And that had all changed because everybody started going their separate ways all day long. So we wanted to get back to that close knit kind of, as Maya said, for at least the last couple of years that the older kids were going to be around. Right. And experience a new culture, learn a language, for a family of 9 to be in Europe and be able to travel and see, experience Europe. I mean, that would have been impossible from stateside to just make a summer trip.
Yeah, that's just it. So, and now I'm curious to know, what made you choose Valencia? Did you kind of have a process of, well, maybe we're considering these 3, but we got to narrow it down? Or was Valencia just like kind of showing itself right away?
I think definitely it was at the top of the heap for a long time. It was a 2-year kind of a process for us of this really even kind of a spiritual feeling, like this feeling that something was coming to change. Because really, if you looked at our lives on paper, we were living a dream. We had, 4 businesses, 2 were bands that were working really well. And, we were playing music all the time. It was just a great life aside from those family things. But the kids, we were all happy. But we knew of an American musician who'd been living here in Valencia. Valencia had the Berkeley campus was here. There are a lot of Berkeley guys in Austin, so there'd been always some talk. So for some reason, Valencia was in the mix and just kind of always on the top of the heap. But we talked about moving to Nashville, the UK, somewhere else in Spain.
We just, when we first started thinking, what can we do to bring the family kind of closer back together, we just started thinking, well, do we need to move somewhere where we could do life differently? And so we started thinking of cities, and Valencia was just on the list.
So then we started visiting those places and seeing. And so when we got here to Spain, that immediately helped us rule out the UK, because it was going to be not much change and a lot, expensive and
cold
weather she wouldn't like.
Yes.
What was going to be a trip of just the 2 of us, kind of half vacation and half scouting to the UK and Spain, became very quickly just, let's go to Barcelona, Valencia, and Madrid. And we love the other 2 cities here in Spain, but they're just big cities and we're not big city people. And it just became very obvious coming to Valencia that there was English spoken, it was going to be easier for the kids to be immersed, for all of us to be immersed in the language. And it just felt more like a small town. It just felt a little more like Austin.
More family
More
friendly.
family friendly, less touristic and less international.
Right.
So then we visited Nashville. There was also talk of moving out of the suburbs and back into Austin proper, but Valencia just won out. And lots and lots of things fell into place that had to have happened to make it possible to move here too. So
yeah, that is just incredible. So, and how did the kids take it? Did anybody kind of say, maybe we could stay in the States, or were they all kind of like gung ho of, yeah, let's do this, it's gonna be a change?
They kind of took a while for some of them to warm up to the idea. So when we first said we're going to go visit Spain because we're thinking of moving there, our daughter said, why are you ruining my life?
yeah.
You know.
But then we came back with pictures and told stories about it. My brother and his wife came over in their family, and we just like showed our pictures and talked about it. And by the end of that conversation, our daughter was saying,
that looks really cool.
Sweet, when are we going?
Yeah.
So it was a little bit of a mixed bag at first, but you know, a couple of the kids were like, awesome adventure, let's do it. And then a couple of kids were,
I don't know, I'm gonna miss my friends,
family,
you know,
and
normal stuff.
Yeah. But by the time the ball really got rolling, they were pretty much on board, and we never had anybody that was like, oh, I'm not going, this sucks. You know, so that's been great.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so good. And how have, you know, because I mean, I'm living in Madrid, so, you know, and there's a lot of expats here, a lot in Valencia too. So we all initially have kind of that little hump of like, ooh, this is different. And you kind of have to get over some obstacles at first. But how long did it really take for you guys to kind of feel like this is home? Or are you still kind of needing to get to that level?
I remember thinking, I feel like there's tiers of it. Like there's certain ways you feel comfortable or feel like, yep, I am integrated. And then at the same time, in other ways, not. I mean, I remember just walking down the street, having a conversation like, how long will it take us to feel like where the buildings don't feel foreign, like where the structures don't seem so foreign.
You walk around going, wow, can you believe
right.
we live in a city that looks like this?
Right.
But we will say that after 3.5 years.
Definitely I feel at home. I don't feel, I don't know, you know, around the year mark, you feel like you're getting a hold of the language. Okay. You're starting to understand a little more.
You've made some friends. Your kids are comfortable with school. Yeah.
And then I feel like 18 months in, we got here in the middle of October, and the kids didn't really get started in school until January. And then we had summer break. And I remember in late October, like October of the following school year. So it's
the 1 year mark.
Yeah, about the 1 year mark. Well, so for our kids around the 1 year mark, I spoke to a couple of the kids who had struggled a little bit with the language at first. Yeah. And one of the boys, man, I like get it now. I mean, it had just a switch had flipped. And, you know, he had read in Spanish all summer long. And he just said, no, I understand my teachers. I understand everything now. You know, you're still catching up at that point with trying to speak. But I think it's just levels. We were talking last night with friends about how now 3.5 years in, I don't get all sweaty when I'm thrown into you don't get that flop sweat of like, oh, this is a new situation, or I'm going to the doctor, or where you're handling something important, you know, and you're not confident like that. I feel like since the end of year 2 or 2.5, 2 years in, you lose a lot of that stuff.
Yeah.
But I remember in the first year just staring at the door going, I have to go out this door and I don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Even though you want to be here, you know, I mean, even though you chose.
It's stressful.
A lot of challenges. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's such a good feeling too, isn't it? To get to that level of, yes, I'm just going to go into this conversation and it's going to be fine. And even if I screw up, but you know.
Exactly.
Right.
That's a good level to get to. So, all right. So I'm curious to hear more, because I know that you guys, I know that the whole family, you're all musicians. Yes. You're all musical.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Amazing. And have you always been like, have the kids too, have they always been musical as well? Have you raised them with like instruments in hand and singing since they were young?
We've tried.
We've tried. We've tried to make sure that they, when they've shown an interest in certain things, to get them a guitar lesson, guitar lessons for a certain amount of time, or, let them try things. Definitely, we've tried to make sure that instruments, are out and around the house. One of the huge factors was, our home in the suburbs. Before we moved, I had been saving up for a Telecaster, and then this piano shop had this liquidation, and we ended up buying a baby grand piano instead of a guitar, and put it just in the middle of the living room, and that really became for the kids. I hadn't thought about, it's different than a keyboard that you have to turn on. Having that piano just sitting out, you just never knew when one of them might just sit down and tinker around, and I think that was a big deal. Having a guitar around where somebody might grab it. And then, of course, like marching band, as they hit the 6th grade age, and you test them on instruments, and they start with that stuff.
So, our 2 oldest are brass players, and then we've got percussion, bass, piano, and French horn.
The 2 little guys getting started, one's with percussion and the other with piano, and and they sing all the time. The kids in this house are always singing like video game theme songs.
But then when you ask them to sing something, they get really shy.
They get shy. So.
Oh yeah, I understand that one. Oh, that's pretty funny. So now you said that one of your oldest might be interested in coming on and talking for a moment.
Yes.
Sure.
Right. Let's.
He's coming.
Oh. And Fox is his name.
And just have a seat.
Yes.
All right, Fox. Awesome. Cool. Dun, dun, dun. All right. Hey, Fox, how are you? I'm Casey.
Hi, I'm good.
Hey, good. Thanks for coming on for a moment. This is awesome. So, I mean, it's fascinating to hear your guys' story. So I'm curious to know. So, first of all, how old are you?
20 years old.
You're 20. So are you in university right now?
Yes.
Nice.
I'm just finishing up my 2-year course.
Okay, nice. And what are you studying?
Animation.
Ah, nice. Okay, very cool. So are your classes, are they in Spanish? Are they in English, or is it a mix?
All Spanish. Although the only language class they have there is English, so so I have to attend English class, but the teacher speaks with me in Spanish in there. So.
Really? Okay. So. That's awesome. Wow. And did you know any Spanish before moving over to Valencia, or was this like your first time?
I had taken 2 years in high school, but that wasn't nearly enough preparation. I basically came over knowing nothing.
Yeah. It never feels like it is over. When you don't use it over there, you lose it. I understand that one. So how is, in your experience here, well, maybe you haven't experienced university back in the States then, I suppose, because you've been here for a bit, but what is school like here compared to back home? I mean, do you notice, is it easier? Is it more difficult? Is it about the same?
When it comes to difficulty, I'd say about the same. They're a bit more lax over here in Valencia, at least. And I've only been in smaller classes, so they really focus a lot on making sure that you get the work done right, more than and like working with you to make sure you figure it out. Yeah. Rather than just focusing on the deadline. But again, I've only had really small classes since we moved here.
Okay, well, that's kind of a nice thing, though. I think the small class thing is always good. And how about making friends here? Coming over? Did you find it pretty easy, like meeting maybe other expats, or did you find it a little bit difficult initially? How was it for you?
It was easy to make friends here. There's a lot of nice people around here, and I mean, of course, at first it was really hard to communicate with anybody at all at first, but there were some people who spoke some English that could help me out, so I managed to make some friends.
Yeah.
right away.
Good. Oh, good. I'm glad. It's always a nice thing. Hey, and my last question, and then I'll let you go. What would you say? What's one of your favorite things about living in Spain, and maybe in particular in Valencia?
Let's see.
Maybe there's too many.
Well, I love the parks a lot. I don't like cities a whole lot, so the parks are just amazing to me. That they have such big, beautiful parks. What else?
Yeah.
The food is important, of course. Everything, all the ingredients, everything tastes really good here. So it's definitely on par with the Texas food I miss so much.
Oh, good. I imagine you miss the Texas food. Totally. Well, good. Yeah, Valencia is pretty wonderful though in those aspects. So, well, hey, Fox, thanks so much for coming on for a moment. I appreciated getting to talk with you a bit. All right. Cool. Okay. Well, have
Bye.
a great rest of the day. See you around. All right. Oh, very cool. Okay, so I wanted to talk just a little bit with you guys. So the theme for this month of the Love Yourself Project, it's reinventing yourself more in terms of career. So I mean, we all know, I mean, COVID has made a huge difference in everyone's life. And I know that you guys, I know that you had gigs and then those I assume got canceled. But what are you doing now differently despite COVID, and maybe changing anything around and kind of taking a new path now that things have changed a bit?
I think there's been a lot of that. The adaptation. Yeah, we canceled. We had to cancel what was going to be a great tour in Belgium and Holland, and that was a bummer for me. But we started from day one of the official state of emergency announcement. We started doing what was a huge change was posting a video of a song per day. And it really just started, the idea was, well, we're going to do this as long as we're in quarantine, locked up, as something to keep our spirits up and also to just kind of spread some joy and wacky, keep other people's spirits up. And it became obvious very quickly that was a good way at first to, we would receive some tips here and there, like Venmo and stuff. And so we did that for
64 days.
4 days consecutively until
phase one,
or however many days that was. Yeah, 64 days, I think. And it was good. And we kind of used it as a springboard to learn a bunch of new stuff. So I had been delving into some new music softwares, and then a lot of video production stuff with Adobe, like, video production softwares.
Sound recording techniques for, at
Just
home with hardly any equipment.
Yeah, exactly. Without buying new stuff and saying, well, what do I have? What can we use? We've got this wealth of, the hours that I've probably spent on tutorials for different softwares and things, which was good because we had been in a mode since school started this year to kind of dig into some working on new habits and better productivity things. Maya's much better at that stuff than I was up until COVID. I've been much more productive on a daily basis during quarantine than normal. But so we were one of my goals had been to learn as much as I can about graphic arts, more video and audio production that you can do from home, so that we could work remotely for the rest of our lives, not have to worry about, because who knows where these kids are going to end up. And so I don't, having done and still owning a kind of a brick and mortar thing back in Austin, that is part of our income. I'm wanting to get to a place where I can work remotely from anywhere. And so the last 3 months the pivot of that have been really useful. So I feel like I'm getting to the point where my skills with those things are more marketable. That's my side of it.
Yeah. Great.
So, and you?
Yeah, just the video a day thing was a really big change for us. So we've never, we're not the kind of musicians that are always going live and always posting videos and always, we like to perform live. We like to book a show. We like to do a tour. And so it was a completely different direction for us. And we did, like Jack said, we learned so much. Just like, how do we make this one better than yesterday? How do we, and really diving into those programs and things to learn more and make things better. And that also really helped to kind of keep our spirits up, about the whole thing. And and we got positive feedback from it. So I think that helped too, just getting words of encouragement from our friends and fans, and to keep going, and which is exactly what we were trying to put out there. Keep going. It's another day and we can do it. And it's kind of a beautiful thing, the connection we were able to get with that. And as far as other like kind of daily things, like we've been exercising a lot more, just trying to keep our bodies feeling healthy and strong. And I'm not very disciplined, but I have been trying to meditate and notice that it does help when I'm feeling anxious. And so
Absolutely. So, and did the kids get in too on those concerts that you did via Zoom or via web?
Yeah, some definitely the first. So we were doing the song a day, and then it took us, I don't know, maybe even 6 weeks in, we did our first full hour and a half concert, and the kids played. And our dress rehearsal for that was a concert on our balcony for the neighborhood, and the kids played 5 songs with us as part of that. So that was fun. We spent time rehearsing for all of that, and it's great to get to play. And, we were one of few groups of people who had an actual full band to do a live stream concert. Most people are solo, duo at home. So that felt pretty unique and fun. And so that was good.
Yeah.
And the kids, sorry?
I said.
That's it. They've gotten involved. They've worked on individual songs here and there, helped us film. Occasionally, have helped us film some things for the daily videos.
Yeah.
And, it's been cool.
That's awesome. And you guys were talking about, I heard you say like you're trying to do exercise, meditation and stuff. How about musically? Is there anything that you two do daily? I assume that you're probably practicing and performing, just to keep your skills up almost every day, if not daily. So how about, what do you guys do to kind of keep your musical skills going? And how about for the kids too? Do you kind of have them on a routine of, we're doing this every day to keep improving?
The older kids, actually all of the kids have their music lessons that they have regularly have just switched to online. So they've still been doing their music private lessons and stuff. Just like they always would, just here at home. And so that's been a great motivation, so that they keep practicing and we're not always the one saying you have to.
Two of them are in music conservatory too, so they have more classes
per week. And then the two of us, we usually try to do a vocal warm up daily. We kind of slacking off on that a bit lately, but and pick up some kind of an instrument for a little while. Sure. Do something.
Yeah. So, and having the project, especially during the time of posting a video every day, then you're running through a song or even learning a new song. Right now, since we've scaled back, it's more like developing each day, we've got songs we're working on to release a video that's higher production quality or whatever. So each day it's more like building that song and
perfecting a part,
yeah,
or
recording, doing the audio production and recording it.
Yeah,
that sort of thing.
Right. Okay. Oh.
I mean, it's something daily. It's not necessarily regimented in at 10 o'clock we do this.
Right. But there's always something we do each day that's music related.
Yeah. Like, yeah, of course, to keep yourself in the groove. And then also, I'm curious to know, what has been your experience of being a musician here in Valencia compared to back home? Like any similarities and any differences between doing it here versus back in the States?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's definitely different, especially when compared to Austin. I mean, Austin is so unique in the world. You have 2,000 venues, where you could hear music any given night. I mean, every night of the week. And so in Austin, we were playing, 3, 4, 5 nights a week. Had a residency, every Thursday at one spot, and then, you do your private events on the side too to make extra coin. And extra coin, am I from the sounds Shakespearean also. Here in, part of our struggle here is we don't have permission to work in Spain. We're on a non-lucrative visa. So most of what we've done that's made money, aside from session work, record, stuff via the internet, like working remotely, has been, touring outside of Valencia, which was part
like
of the
going
goal.
To Belgium and
Belgium, Germany, Austria, stuff like that. We've certainly played a lot of shows. We have a lot of musician friends here in Valencia, but that's, usually more it's for fun. And then just hoping that you gain some fans. So we haven't made any money in Spain as musicians, but so that's definitely one of the differences. And as as entrepreneurial people, that is a big difference between,
the States and
the
Europe.
States and Europe is like tomorrow, if the three of us decide we're going to be bakers, we go buy, what do you make? Yeast. We go buy yeast and we're bakers or whatever. Whereas here, the process is you have to go to become autonomo and
get the government permission.
So,
and
we were trying to get that stuff built up before all this started, so that hopefully soon we can get our autonomo here and start playing and not have to worry about. It would be nice. It'd be nice to be able to play and
regularly,
and actually make some money doing it. So there's definitely some big differences. And then Valencia itself is not. There's music going on. It's a well-known music city, but it's not like Austin. And one of the things we miss about Austin, especially as we've traveled and gigged more, is there's just no place like it where on Tuesday you can go, well, let's go to blah, 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 and there's world-class jazz going on, or go over here. And a lot of times you don't pay a cover or anything. So like that is something we definitely miss. But we see a lot of great music here too. So.
Right. Yeah, but I imagine, because I mean, Austin especially is just a music capital. So yeah, quite the difference. Well, okay. Well, you guys, before I do want to mention like how we can find you like on socials and stuff. But before we do that, if you're feeling down, would you like to go ahead and play a little something for us?
Yeah, sure.
All right, perfect. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to mute myself just to make sure, because I know that you can be a little wonky with sound. So
yeah. This is called Deal with the Devil, and this is my next single that'll come out on
June 26th.
June 26th. So. Okay. 1, 2, 1. Sad eyes, she got too much ambition. Too many shadows to stand in. Too many footprints standing. You know she ain't on the level. To get on top, she made a deal with the devil. Hard time, but never one to back down. So many times we made it happen. Call it the king of bootstrapping. You know he ain't on the level. Feel his pockets made a deal with the devil. Woo! Woo! Let me help the bed. Feel it in low licking bone. Well, let me have a bed. For can't leave well enough alone. Yeah. Riding high on the backs of better men. Busy telling them it's so fine. Busy marking up the bottom line. You know he ain't on the level. Still a strong, he made a deal with the devil. Whoa, well. Woo-hoo, let me have a bed. Feel it in low, they can go. Wow. Woo-hoo, let me have a bed. Woo-hoo, can't leave well enough alone. Purple on his golden gilded throne. Well, purple. Woo!
Oh! Oh my God! Whoa! That's freaking awesome!
A person to react.
Yes! Oh my God! Yes! Somebody live! Even though it's a screen. Oh, you guys, that was incredible! Incredible! Ah, thank you, and I'm glad that could work out. Yeah, you guys could. That worked okay, I think, on Zoom.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Good.
So, okay, you guys, I feel like I could keep asking you a million things, but I wanted to know, I want to be able to tell everybody who's watching, because I know that we want to be able to promote more artists. Where can we find you and where can we connect with you?
Well, on all of the social media, I'm just at Jack Burton Music. Mm-hmm. And then my website is also jackburtonmusic.com. The only difference being my my YouTube page is Jack Burton Trio. Okay. So at youtube.com/Jack Burton Trio. And then everything else is really, yeah, you can find me at Jack Burton Music. And then Maya,
what?
Her stuff is, her social media is Ember Music.
MBUR Music. Yes, I don't have much up yet. That's another thing we've kind of been starting in quarantine is my own personal project. So
yeah.
Great. Lovely,
yes.
Lovely.
Yeah,
and on Spotify, iTunes, right. Jack Burton. Just look for that
just
face.
Look for my beard.
Jack Burton is a common name, so you'll have to also look for the.
Yeah, please follow us on Spotify and Apple Music. We need that, and then also I've got stuff on SoundCloud as well. But yeah, look for my face because there are some other Jack Burtons out there.
Yeah.
Great.
Thanks. That means a lot.
Oh, absolutely. Oh my God. Yeah. I'd love for more people to hear you and to hear about your story too, because it's really incredible. Hey, and you do have a blog as well, yes?
Oh yeah.
Yes, we've about kind of our family move and traveling and applying for visas and all of that kind of thing. It's BigBurtonBonVoyage.com. We've also got an Etsy shop by the same name, where the kids and I design different things and sell sell on Etsy. So t-shirts and
Lots of cool t-shirts.
Stuff like that, buttons and whatever.
And then also on social media at Big Burton Bon Voyage.
Yeah.
So Facebook and Instagram.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Good. You guys are everywhere. You're on all the platforms. Love it.
Trying to be. You have to, everything now.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. I know. What better time to do it than when we're all inside and we can have time to do these things?
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, yes.
Don't have
Okay.
homeschool.
Yeah. Well, okay, you guys, Jack, Maya, thank you so much. It was a pleasure to be able to talk with you guys.
Thanks so much for having us.
Yes, absolutely. Okay, well, we'll connect all of your social media and blog in the show notes, and yeah, we'll be
So much.
seeing you around. Yeah, excited to hear you guys again.
Great.
Awesome.
All right. Okay. Well, take care.
All right,
Peace.
you too.
Take care.
Yeah. Okay. Bye.